I'm a little dressed up today because we are at Casa de Felix. I'm here with Allyson Felix, one of the greatest track and field athletes of her generation. Allyson, welcome to the program. I'm glad to finally have you on again.
Good to be here.
Yeah. I want to start by asking you about your plans for retirement. You've been talking for quite some time about Rio 2016 next year being the last year that you will compete. Are those plans still fast?
Did I say that? For me, I just think I'm taking it year by year. Yeah. You know, I'm definitely gonna go for Rio and definitely the year after that, and then I'll just take it year by year. You know, I think it's most important for me to see how I'm feeling. If I'm enjoying myself, I'm still passionate, and you know, just see.
All right, so that leads me to my follow-up, and that is, what made you, because for a long time you had said 2016, I'm done, moving on to other things. What made you change? Is it the impending 2016 coming up and you think, you know what, I still have more left to give?
I think I'm just still having fun, you know. Right. As long as I'm enjoying myself, I feel like there's still things left that I want to do. And to me, that's most important, you know. I don't want to put any limits on myself.
Right. So let's talk about your favorite event, the 400 meters. Let's go back to 2011. Do you look back at that race in which you got silver at the World Championships? When you think back to that race, is it a race of regret? Is it a race of promise? Maybe you look back at that race and you go, listen, I'm not really a quarter miler and I was a half step from being world champion. What are the memories of that race, and what does it mean to you when you think about it?
Well, I definitely look back and think, man, I learned a lot. Right. You know, it was my first time really taking on something like that, and I can honestly say I didn't know the race very well. Right. And I still, you know, it's a work in progress, of course. But I feel more confident now, more experience, and definitely that I can draw on that experience and say that, okay, I can do things a little differently.
So there's been some talk that perhaps in your final years of your career, you may go back to the 400. Any truth to that?
Yeah, I'm definitely open to it. You know, I feel like this is a great year to explore that. Like you said, I'm older now.
And wiser.
And yes, I am. I feel like, I definitely gained a lot of experience. And so definitely, I don't want to leave track and field and say, man, what if? I think, you know, definitely in these latter years, I want to go after everything.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your involvement with Michelle Obama, the First Lady of the United States. Let's Move program. Tell me how you got involved at first and what that journey's been like, because you've been involved with it for a while now.
I have, yeah. I've been on the President's Council for Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition for about 6 years now. Yeah. And so it's been great because for me, I love kids. It's a huge passion of mine. And of course, with the athletic background, it just really made sense. Right. And so I've been involved with going into the schools, getting kids active, and just partnering also on the council. You know, we come up with ideas of what's going to make kids have fun to get active, and how can we get the whole family involved, and just really make it how we were growing up, like, you know, playing in the neighborhood, riding your bikes, all things like that. It doesn't have to be sports specific. It's just about being healthy. Now, I know you're a big Lakers fan, as I am, so that means that we have just come off of the worst year ever. Now, you're a serious Lakers fan. You're at a lot of the games. What's it been like to suffer through that season this year? It has been very rough, you know. There's times where I'm at games and I'm like, do I really want to be here?
Oh, look, yeah, celebrity.
It's tough, you know, but, you know, you got to rebuild, so I'm going to hang tough.
And then the Clippers are actually good this year,
and that makes it even worse.
I know, yeah. Let's switch a little bit to something you brought up just now, and that is what you've always been very clear about what you're going to do post-career, and that is you're going to explore your passion to teach. Now that you're a little older, has that changed any way where maybe you're a little bit more specific, where you're like, okay, I don't just want to teach like elementary school kids, I want to teach, I don't know, high school, I want to be a college professor. Has the teaching dream evolved at all?
I think it's gotten less specific.
Really?
Now I'm like, man, there's so many things that I want to do, and I'm all over the place, and so I have no idea of how I'll dial it in. I just know that I want to work with kids in some aspect, and I have a passion for teaching, but I also have a passion for getting kids active and, you know, on the physical side of things. So I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm going to be like all across the board doing a lot.
Right. Now, you left London with 3 gold medals, but I looked at sort of your emotions for those gold medals, and they're completely varied. In the 200, obviously that's relief. I got the medal that I was born to win. And the 4x4, well, you guys didn't exactly, have a lot of competition in that. You guys blew it out of the water, which is a contrast to how it was 4 years prior in Beijing, where, you didn't take the lead until 50 meters.
Yeah.
But I look back again in getting ready for this interview at the 4x1, and I would dare say that you were the happiest member of that 4x1. Was it because of the shock? Was it because you never really thought you would have a world record next to your name? What created that much elation for you? I mean, obvious, other than the obvious, I set a world record.
Yeah.
It seemed like you were almost shocked.
I think it was a combination. Yeah, I think I was shocked. It was a combination of things. Going into it, I don't think. Well, I wasn't thinking world record. So, when I saw the time, I was like, that is not a 4x1 time. I just it didn't even register. I'm like, that time doesn't make sense.
Right.
So I think it's just a combination. And, with relays, you're never sure if you're really going to be on them. And so to be a part of a group that sets a world record, there's just so many things that comes into it. So you take for granted being a part of a team. And it was a really special team and, just good relationships with the girls on it. And so, just shock and just feeling like, I'm a part of something that's really special.
Now, I went back to and looked at your Olympics in 04 and 08. Is there something that happened on those nights where you look back and you went, well, training and injury, timing of season? Because you were so good in the World Championship years, and you were good the night of the Olympics, but not good enough to win.
Yeah.
Now that you've gone silver, gold, do you look back at the 2 silvers and go, oh, that's what I didn't do. I did this differently when I won the gold.
I can break down the races and things like that. In 04, honestly, I was just outraced. Right. Definitely. In 08, I feel
too. I imagine.
Yeah, I think as the years go by, that definitely adds a lot to it. In 08. Definitely outraced, beaten with something that was faster than my PR.
Right.
But also I felt like I could have ran a better race. And that was a year that I just felt like there was a lot going on and I definitely could have done better. And so going into London, that was just a huge learning curve for me. It was just like everything that happened this year, I'm doing differently.
Right.
And so, that's how I would kind of characterize them.
So now that we're looking at a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5 years, you stick around longer. What are the things that are important to you that people remember or say about you 10, 15 years from now? Yeah, I remember Allyson Felix. She used to be fill in the blank.
A great competitor, someone who is ran gracefully. You'll
definitely get that.
I like to be remembered for stuff off the track as well. So, I just took advantage of all my talent and left it all on the track.
Yeah. Now you have quite an interesting group. Corey Carter, Jenny Crawford. But when you first got into the sport, you didn't have this big a group. What's that been like now that you have a bona fide track club and it's not just you? You are obviously one of the stars of that group. But what's it been like when you look back at when you started and it was just you, and now having all these club mates?
So much better.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're training by yourself, you're like, okay, my coach is crazy or I'm crazy. Something is not working here. Yeah, definitely. So I just felt like it was just so much harder when I was by myself and going through the workouts and all of that. It was just tough. And so to be able to have teammates and, we're encouraging each other and, with Bobby, you're like, okay, this workout is insane, but, we're all going to die. We're all going down together. So just to be able to get through everything and, have people who have your back and are cheering you on is really cool.
Now, anybody who follows you on social media knows that you are very much into shoes and into sneakers.
I am.
Tell me where that came about and where is it going? Because your collection is pretty amazing.
Well, it came about just from having a love for basketball. First love. Played all growing up, and my older brother Wes, was really into it. I think I got my first pair of basketball shoes like in the 5th grade, and it just came from our passion for the sport. And then we used to be able to get one pair of shoe for the year, for the school year.
Yeah, those days are over.
So me and Wes would be with our toothbrush cleaning them off, and then because we'd play in them, and then we want to
sneakerheads.
Yeah, we'd want to also wear them to school.
Right.
That's where it came from. And where's it going?
What's the number at now?
You know what? I need to count because everyone always asks, and I don't know. It's growing and outgrowing the closet, and at one point it's gonna have to stop.
Yeah. So I always tell the hurdlers, David Oliver and company, that maybe in my next life, I want to come back and be a hurdler because I think it's such a beautiful event. Do you look at another event in track and field and go, okay, so I clearly can't do it this time around, but this is an event I'd want to do?
There's definitely ones that I think like, man, that looks fun. So jumping is always something.
Long jumping?
Yeah.
Wow.
It always looks fun to me.
And nobody ever made you long jump as fast as you were?
I think, no, by getting into the sport late, it was just like, you're going to sprint. So, jumping, I would say.
Well, I tell you, I'm completely prejudiced because I too want to see what you can do at 400 meters, but you have given all of track and field such great thrills and such, as you said, great competitiveness that your legacy is secure.
Thank you.
I certainly wish you the best as we
Appreciate
get ready for the World Championships and on to the Olympic Games.
Yep. All right.
Thanks for joining me.
Of course.